In a quiet town, tucked between rolling hills and forgotten roads, there lived a woman named Mara. She wasn't the loudest, the brightest, or the most celebrated. She was simply good. Mara had a presence that made even the coldest days feel warmer. She remembered birthdays no one else did. She showed up for people who rarely showed up for her. She carried the burdens of others as if she had none of her own. Every night, she lit a small candle in her living room, a habit from her grandmother, who used to say, "A single candle can guide a lost traveler home." Be that candle. Perhaps that's why Mara lived the way she did, quiet, steady, glowing for others. But the truth hidden behind her soft smile was this: Mara was tired. Not the kind of tired sleep could fix, but a deep-down tired, born from giving far more than she ever received. Still, she kept going. One winter, a massive storm slammed the town, crushing power lines and swallowing the streets in darkness. Panic spread quickly. Children cried, elders trembled, and families huddled in fear. But then, through the blizzard, they saw a small, trembling light bobbing through the storm. It was Mara, carrying her candle inside a glass lantern. She went from house to house, checking on the sick, calming frightened children, delivering warm blankets, and sharing food she had saved for herself. No one asked her to, no one expected her to, but she went anyway. Someone asked, "Mara, why do you risk so much for people who barely thank you?" She smiled faintly and said, "Light doesn't choose who deserves it. It shines because someone is lost." Her words were beautiful, but they hid a painful truth. Because underneath her glow, she was burning out. She skipped meals to feed others. She stayed awake helping neighbors while her own home remained cold. She pushed herself past her breaking point, believing that if she stopped, someone else would suffer. But no one noticed that her hands had begun to shake. No one saw how hollow her eyes had become. No one noticed the flame inside her was growing smaller with every passing day. The emotional turning point came on the coldest night of the year. Mara was delivering a heavy basket of firewood to an elderly man who lived alone on a hill. Halfway up, her legs gave out. The basket fell. The lantern shattered, and she collapsed in the snow, the last bit of her inner strength finally gone. For the first time, the town realized something shocking. The woman who had carried them through storms was now the one who needed saving. Neighbors rushed to her, wrapping her in blankets, calling her name, begging her to open her eyes. She was taken to the clinic, barely conscious. The doctor sighed and said what no one expected to hear: "She's not sick, she's empty. She's been giving from a place she stopped filling long ago." The town fell silent with guilt. For years, they had relied on her light without ever thinking that she might need light, too. The next morning, when Mara opened her eyes, she was certain she would be alone, that people would simply move on as they always did. But instead, her little house was glowing. Dozens of candles flickered inside. Her neighbors had filled her shelves with food. Children she had comforted were drawing pictures for her. The elderly man she tried to help was sitting by her bed, holding her hand, with tears in his eyes. A mother stepped forward and said, "We forgot that even the brightest candle can melt away. You gave us light for years, Mara. Now, let us give you ours." For the first time in her life, Mara cried openly from relief, from gratitude, from finally being seen. From that day on, Mara still helped people, but she stopped ignoring herself. She learned that a candle must be protected, sheltered, and fed, not burned until there is nothing left. And the town learned that kindness is not a one-way street. It is a circle. A light passed from one heart to another. Because a candle that burns only for others eventually disappears. But a candle protected by many can shine for a lifetime. Kindness is powerful, but it is not infinite. You deserve the same care you freely give to others. Protect your flame, so you can shine for the world without losing yourself. If this story touched your heart, don't leave silently. Like the video, subscribe and turn on the notification bell for more soul-stirring stories.